Hey y'all, everything in this video is speculation if it comes out of my mouth, and I just wanted to hop on and share a clip from the YouTube channel Wise Nuts Podcast that I just happened to come across the other day. I found it rather interesting. The woman speaking is an ex FBI agent who ended up married to someone in the cartel. So you can check out the full video. I'll put the link in the description box. But I just found what they're discussing very pertinent to maybe assist some that don't still understand what could have and probably very likely happened in the Idaho 4 case. So, time to wake up, people. Um, I hope to be going live here in a little bit, but I've had kind of a crazy day, and so I'm still debating. But check this out. Let me know your thoughts. If I don't see any of you later to chat, I will very soon. I'm very interested in your thoughts, and trust me, we've got a lot to talk about this week. So I hope you're all having a wonderful night. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time or until later, stay safe.
How do you process a person getting chopped up into pieces, somebody that you knew, and then the family decided to put the body parts in a box? They didn't even cremate her. So I couldn't even go to the funeral because there was a box with pieces in it. It was like legs, some arms, a head. They never found their torso.
Oh,
So imagine you sitting at a wake with a closed box and you know what's in the box.
I could only imagine what the parents were going through.
Yeah, I mean, the parents went through hell and back in a handbasket, right? But the biggest story was how something, it was so close to home, right? Like you never think that things like this will happen to people like you, and it did. And I think as a 15-year-old, like how do you process that? You know, I come from a Hispanic family. We don't talk about our feelings. Yeah, I remember my mom like she's at rest now, she's at peace. But like the processing of thinking how this man sat there and chopped body parts. It's very difficult to chop body parts, if you guys know. It's very difficult. You got to go through skin, you got to go through muscle, and you got to go through bone.
Yeah, I was telling Armand that last week when we were chopping up a body. I was like, bro, we got to use sharper knives.
Yeah,
Told you to use
a chainsaw.
the chainsaw.
But the problem with the chainsaw, it makes so much mess, and then you got to extra clean them.
Yeah. And then California has that no gas law. We had to go with like the electrical
Well, you could have used
chainsaws.
your neighbor's lawnmower. Guy with the extension cord. It's front yard.
Yeah, it's crazy. And here's the other crazy part is when the transcript finally came out of the actual uh the court records, it was insane. Like it's out there in public record. Like you can look it up on public law or whatever it is. And if you go through it, like he explains how he tried to kill her and she was still alive. How
Oh,
he had a
jeez.
knife stuck in the back of her brain and she was still crawling away. And then he grabbed her head and put it in the toilet and was trying to drown her and she was still alive. Like she was fighting for her life.
She was tortured at that point.
He pretty much in the stand he said this was the toughest person to kill out of all his kills.
Why don't they just shoot him dead? Why?
He did. He shot her in the head and him in the head. He didn't suffer, she did, because she was still alive with a bullet in her head.
After shooting them, he decapitated them.
Well, first, before you chop the body up, he flipped them upside down and drained the blood because it's a lot of mess when you chop up a body.
I'm at loss for words for this because
Yeah.
just picture this, man. You know who the guy is. You have no idea who the girl is. At this point, you could wait for the date to end and be like, all right, there's my guy. He's the victim. I got to go after him. But this guy had no remorse for who this young lady was, who her family is, where she's going, what her future looks like. It was just like, I don't give a shit. Um,
This is a job.
I'm killing one guy. I don't have time to wait for the date to end. You're going with him.
But these two, survived, right?
What was the motive though? Had he had that?
Because the guy owed him money. The guy owed the cartel money, and it was only like it wasn't that much. I think from the reports, it was like 2,000. 2,000. He owed 2,000, and he got paid 2,000 to do it. It's crazy. It really is.
So he owed $2,000 to the cartel, and they paid him
For drugs, yeah.
and they paid him $2,000 to take care of the
To
job.
take care of them.
So in essence, they lost $4,000 to take out one guy.
Right. And got a 2-for-1 because they took her out.
But I think, I mean, they do that type of gruesome style kill
sure.
to send a message, right?
For sure. So the message, so the gruesome kill is one thing, but the message is dispersing body parts. When you disperse body parts like that in an entire city, it's like, don't fuck with us, because you're going to end up in the north side and the south side, literally.
See, I didn't know the cartel had reached all the way to Chicago, because I know the mafia was in the Italian mafia, the Russian mafia, the Irish.
Yeah.
They were in Chicago.
Yeah, the Flores twins ran all the distribution in the United States for Chapo, Peter and Jay Flores, especially in Chicago. They were in Chicago. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
And what year was this?
So this was 1999, summer of 1999. And if you look it up, Gangland made an episode on it, because what it was gang members. But what people don't realize is most gang members are affiliated with a cartel. They're all involved.
Most gang members are affiliated?
Yeah, because think about it. The cartel hires runners, they hire doctors, they hire, accountants, lawyers, pediatricians. They hire everybody. It don't matter who you are. You could be at the bottom of the totem pole, at the top.
And they hire them for what purpose?
Because so gang members terrorize. They're pretty much like low-level terrorists, if you think about it.
Listen to this part, you guys.
What's a
stealing
pediatrician or a CPA going to do for them?
Well, a CPA is going to run all their money, because the cartel is organized crime. It's an entity. So think about it. If you, okay, for example, let's look at what's it called? Ozark. So the guy from Ozark was their accountant. He was running their money for them, because the cartel has businesses, legitimate businesses, so they have to wash money through the legitimate businesses. So you need somebody to watch the accounting through that. And then the pediatricians, you need a pediatrician that's going to be taking care of your kids. You need a doctor that's going to be taking care of your kids. You need an attorney that's going to be managing your businesses,
representing you just in case.
Everything. What people don't understand is the cartel is immaculately structured, down to, we don't know this because the media only shows you what they want you to see. Everybody's like, oh, how does she know that her husband was running drugs? I'm like, he was not running drugs. There wasn't kilos of cocaine under the floorboards or millions of dollars on the wall. That's what Netflix will show you. But they don't show you the accountants and the real estate agents that are selling homes, or the developers that are building compartments in homes so that you could stash money and or drugs.